Hello out there, this is AnYPony, and I just saw DrWolf's and his brother's video, or second video actually, about furries and bronies and the two communities and the comparison of them. And yeah, at the end of every of his videos, DrWolf says he is looking forward to hearing from us and our opinion. And since I started this whole rambling thing, I was like, okay, Doc, here you go. So, first of all, in his video he replied to a few of comments he got on his first video, which were like, bronies are per definition furries, and yeah, I am one of those persons who probably left one of these comments, because if you really take the dictionary definition of furry, it is a human who has a certain interest in animals with anthropomorphic features, and well, talking pony is pretty much this. But I also, in the same comment, I also explained that this definition aside, there is a great difference between bronies and furries, because it kind of depends on the involvement in the fandom of the self-reflection. So I kind of agree with both of them on this point, that the main aspect is the self-definition, because if you have a certain interest in, oh, you see an anthropomorphic image and you are like, oh, this is looking good, you are not automatically a furry. And if you are an MLP for maybe different reasons than the liking of anthropomorphic features, you are into MLP because of the stories, the characters and so on, you are not necessarily a furry. And yeah, just take me for example, I would, if you check out my favorites on DeviantArts and stuff like this, you will pretty much figure it out rather quickly that I also have an interest in anthropomorphic animals and so on beyond ponies. And so basically, if I think about myself, I would say, yeah, sure, I'm a furry. I mean, I have this interest in those ways of creatures, but I have the interest in this style of features. And actually, big confession time, this is the reason why I love the musical Cats so much, because yeah, I haven't seen anything like it before, where you really have this real life-ish mix in between humans but animals, because they also move very cat-like and everything. So yeah, I'm pretty much a furry, I guess. On the other hand, I am not active in the furry fandom at all. I don't even have a Furryfinity account or anything. Probably should make one at some point. Nevertheless, I am a brony and I'm very active in the brony fandom. I also consider myself a furry, not because I'm a brony. I have been a furry long before this, but I never have become active in any way in the furry fandom, except liking the art, liking movies and stuff who have this feature. For example, another example, animes. Animes often have this in-between characters. I remember that in Visions of Escaflowne there was this, as annoying as she was, there was this cat girl who had this kind of interesting thing going on for her by having actually cat-like features in her behavior, even though she was looking rather human. Okay, nevertheless, kind of rambling. So, yeah, to kind of get to a conclusion, I pretty much agree with DrWolf and his brother are saying. You have, sure, there is a definition, but you have to look aside this definition, because if you really go just by the textbook definition, yes, every single brony is a furry, but this doesn't really help, because it is about how do you reflect yourself, how are you involved in fandoms, even if you're only like me, a silent observer in regards to the furry fandom, even though I used to be a silent observer of the brony fandom for about a year as well, so kind of a thing I do. So yeah, you have to kind of see beside the core definition, because otherwise you get discussions like Biter loves them so much about getting the dictionary out and being like, ooh, let's check the very little meaning of something. This is not helping the discussion, seriously. Though it also does not matter if you are an active member of the community or not, like me for example, because I am honest enough with myself that I realize that I am interested in anthropomorphic animals. My god, this sounds so annoying when you say this multiple times in a row. Anthropomorphic animals. Animals with anthropomorphic features. Whatever. So, yeah, you have to a certain level you have to be honest with yourself. You cannot go by this textbook definitions like what exactly is the definition of a furry. You cannot be like, am I an active member of a community to consider myself one of them, one of us, forever, whoever gets a reference. Yeah, but you kind of have to be honest with yourself to a certain level, because when you are enjoying a show like MLP or art like the furry stuff, you have to be honest to yourself, not because the textbook says you are a brony, furry, whatever. You have to be like, okay, do I just superficially like this, or do I really have a deeper interest? And then it does not matter what the textbook say, it does not matter how active you are in the community. If you have this passion or this deeper interest, then you are a brony, a furry, a trekkie, I don't know what's a worthy? What are Star Wars fans called? I don't know. I just call them worthies now. So it comes basically down to self-definition. What are you? How deep is your real interest? This is pretty much the only thing. And this is also the thing why this whole labeling issue falls apart, because it is really something you have to make up with yourself. Only you yourself can really know how deep your actual interest is, and so only you really know the answer, or only you can know the answer, as long as you're honest with yourself. Because if you are a total fan, if you dig every image of a wolf walking on two legs and handling a big sword or whatever. I have no idea where this... whatever. If you have a really deep liking for those images, but you are like, oh, no, I'm not a furry, because of the negative connotation of the word furry and the stigmatization, then I have to say, sorry, you need to be more honest with yourself. If your interest goes deeper than just, hey, this is a good looking image, or same thing for everything you could get labeled for. You have to be honest with yourself, and then in a second step you have to decide how honest you are going to be with the people around you. If you are going to be a closet fan of something or an open fan. And yeah, this were my 2 bits in this regard. So cheers to you, DrWolf, and I really need to learn the name of your brother. Something the dragon... Terrence? Anyways, this is AnYPony saying see you soon.